because you haven't started.
Huh?
You're still eating because you haven't started.
No, I have started. I have now started. It just happened. It's now 9:30. Now 9:30. Said 9:30. I needed to make a cup of tea first. Morning, everybody. Let's see if anybody else wants to join us today. Oh.
No, I have started.
And then I've got voices coming here. Before I do that. Oh, and let me switch my phone off. because. Okay. We can see everything. I just want to make sure we can see everything. It is a bit dark today, but it's cloudy. Cloudy, cloudy, cloudy. Hello, everybody. Good morning to Friday stream. Don't know why I'm calling it Friday stream, because it's Friday. Yay. Okay. So, if you're watching, say how's it in the chat so that I can chat to you back. Ask questions if you want to. Always happy to answer any questions, even if it's not baking related. If I can answer you, I will. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday. It's Mother's Day on Sunday, so don't forget to get your mother something. Do something nice for her. Okay, so I've decided that I want to try and make my own edible glitter, because first of all, the glitter that you get in the baking shops and that is not necessarily edible. And I know the baking shop all the baking shops that I use also, they've got a big disclaimer saying use in small quantities as it is not actually edible. Or use on things that are going to be removed from the cake. So I kind of want to make my own. One of the reasons why I want to make my own is because I'm going to try out in a couple of weeks' time or so. I want to try out this new crazy sensation of a tsunami cake, those beautiful little princess cakes with all that glitter, and that is a huge amount of glitter, and I don't really want to be able to make that cake if I'm not able to sell it, if somebody actually wanted to buy it. And at this point, with edible glitter not being, glitter not being edible, why on earth would you sell it? Because it's got a huge amount of glitter in it. So I want to be able to make my own glitter so that I can use that massive quantity of glitter and not have an issue. So I found a recipe that is not gelatin. It's made with cornstarch. Oh, okay, I think it's in here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cook up. So it's a tablespoon of cornstarch. We're going to put inside a pan. And then and a cup of water. And that is really it for now. So I might at some stage test out the gelatin one, but I think that this one is probably going to be the most user-friendly edible glitter, because it's for vegans and stuff like that, because obviously gelatin is not a no, this is coming from something else. Really? On my live stream? What is happening? I think this is coming from my pan. I'm not too sure what it is. Just like little flecks of something. Okay, so you're just going to continuously stir this until it cooks up. I might end up changing pans. Because I'm doing another batch. Because I didn't really want that in there. Okay. The joys of live streaming. Stuff happens. So I'm just going to quickly get a different pan. That's hopefully not going to pick up some flecks and stuff. Okay, so let's do that again. You don't want little black spots in there. You want it clean as possible. Okay. Because obviously you don't want it to taint your glitter. And I love putting glitter in everything. Especially on my flower cupcakes. Here we go. Especially on my flower cupcakes. Oh! Guys, do you see my beautiful, I have to give this a bit of a plug. I never ever wear aprons. I never wear aprons, and I've had aprons made, well, I've had aprons embroidered and my some beautiful tea towels embroidered. How awesome is this? So it looks really cool to have my logo on it. I should get a nicer picture. Hurry up and wait. I have to say to you, making edible glitter apparently is quite time consuming. So yeah, it takes a long time. So this is not a long process, obviously, this part, but drying it out, there's apparently a few different methods. I kind of tried out one this morning because I did kind of make a batch last night because I needed to show you what the end result would be, because this takes a long time to dry out. But with that, I experienced a few things along the way. So, which is great, because now I can actually say, this is what happened, so this is why I'm doing it this way now. So, yeah. So we're going to cook this, and it'll be clear when it's ready, or as translucent as possible. So, and last night I did it in a pot, a little saucepan pot. So I actually want to do it in a pan to see if that makes any difference. It really shouldn't, but in this quantity makes a huge amount. I think. We're going to find out. There was a lot last night. Hurry up and wait. I learned to hurry up and wait when I was at college. But this is the whole point of live streaming, isn't it? So that you don't get to see it in fast motion. It's in real time. So you can see the amount of effort and time that goes into it. It's cold, cloudy, rainy today in Cape Town, so I'm having to use extra lighting. I've got an extra I've got a light on me now, and I've got a light on here because we don't have enough, because of the cloudy. When it starts to rain, it's going to get even darker. So, oh, do I need music? I think I need to put some music on, just in case I'm not talking. Then at least there's some tunes in the background. Let's put some tunes. I'm not sure why I didn't put them on just now. I normally do. I think I'm a bit. What's it? I was a bit excited. I was a bit excited about the fact that I was scheduling my live YouTube for the first time. I don't normally schedule it, so this is the first time I'm scheduling it, so which is pretty cool. Sorry, you'll see me looking like I'm doing something. It's because I am. I'm doing something on the laptop because I do it all myself. There's no one else here with me. So I have to control the laptop, control everything. So now this is starting to get nice and thick. I kind of want to see if it needs to be thicker than I made it last night. And I don't think it's meant to boil or bubble or anything like that. That's why I've got it on my very low heat what is this? My low heat stove, so instead of one of the higher heat ones, because obviously you don't want it to burn or anything like that either. So you kind of just want to cook it gently. So I use a lot of like opal glitter, like, you know, that white glittery. So I made that last night because I made the whole batch like that. Whereas today we're not going to do that. We're going to split the batch and make 2 colors. What about the handsome guy that always hangs around stealing your cupcakes? Yeah, but he's that's all he's doing. He's in meetings. and then you come around, and when there's something to steal, you come steal a cupcake. So it is bubbling a bit. I don't think that's a problem. This is as translucent as I kind of got it last night. Now, one of the things that apparently you know when it's ready is when the sides like that start flicking away. I don't know if you can see that with the steam. Can you see it? Can I make it closer? Oh, am I steaming up here? Okay. So actually, I'm going to say that this is actually done and it's ready. So I just want to show you what I'm talking about with the steam. I mean, not with the steam, when it's ready, I don't know. So I want to show you here, if you can see on the edge, do you see how it's flaking off on the edge? Now that's when it's done and ready. So you're going to experience, please do not get sick with the change in motion. I'm going to move over to my other workstation. I only have 1 camera, or 2 on my laptop, my main camera. So I'm just going to move it round. Don't get sick with the sky floor. One of these days I'll have more than 1 camera, I suppose. Right, I'm going to sit down over there. cupcakes, we just change things around. Can you see? Let me lift that a bit. Okay. That's cool. You can see me, you can see what's going on here. Yeah. That's good. Right. Any questions? Does anybody want to ask me a question? Probably not. Other than my husband, who's talking about him being super handsome, which he is, and he knows. Okay. So we're gonna split this. We're gonna split this into two. Now this doesn't look like a lot, but it is. It is a lot. I'm just gonna split it basically into two bowls. Because again, because I want a lot of one color, I'm just gonna split. I'm not gonna, you could, if you say wanted to make 6 colors, you could take like a tablespoon for each color, and it'd probably be more than enough for it, a tablespoon each. I'm just going to split this so that I can do two. I'm going to do 2 colors. So I'm going to do blue and I'm going to do purple. And I'm doing the blue and purple in preparation for my tsunami cakes that I'm going to do, because I'm doing one with my daughter and one on my own. So you'll have to watch out for that's to come soon. Okay, so I suppose you don't need to scrape the bowl clean. Anyway, I'm going to just use 2 different spoons. It takes a really long time to dry, so it's really not a train smash how long you take with this. I'm so vain. Yeah, because you always hijack my stream. I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm just checking where my camera is, because I've kind of set my setup a little bit differently to what I normally do. So I was hoping for a lower down. So yeah. Okay, so because I want to do purple, so the whole point is we want to keep it. We want to keep it edible, right? So you're not going to put you're not going to add glitter to it or anything like it. You're only going to use food coloring. So I get these beautiful shimmer food coloring paints, powdered paints, which I use for, these are completely edible. Okay, is completely edible. It's paint. This is paint. It's powdered paint for edible powdered paint that you use, to color chocolates and fondants and everything else, and buttercream and everything. And it's got a shimmer in it. And because we're making glitter, I suppose you can use the gels. You can definitely use the gels. I just don't think you'd get as much of a shimmer. So if you can get a shimmer gel, then I would rather use that than a plain gel color for the edible. As long as it's edible food coloring, it's fine. But this has got a shimmer in it, and that's the reason why I'm using it, because then I think it's going to make my glitter even more shiny, because it is all about the shine. Actually, I did use a whisk. Let me use a whisk. I used a whisk last night and it actually worked quite well. I'm just going to turn it over to a whisk rather than a spoon, because then it really mixes it up. And mix it really well. You don't want to see, especially if you're using powders, you don't want to see, powder flakes. But you can see, I wish you could see it. I don't know, can you see it? There is a slight, you can see the shimmer from the paint. And so for me, that will make it more glittery. You know, more shiny, more glittery, because, you know, it has to be more. I think it'll be glittery with normal paint, but not as glittery. That's why I wanted to use the shimmer colors. So I just want to mix it really good. I'm going to get another tiny whisk so that I can do the other color. But that blue looks beautiful. I think it's going to be a beautiful blue. It's actually these are two new colors I've never used before. They looked like they were going to be good colors to use, so really have come out pretty. So this one's the purple one. This teaspoon is called a smidgen, apparently. Not sure what a smidgen is, how much a smidgen is. I think it's just a novelty kind of teaspoon, but I love them. They're perfect for things like this when you want to do small quantities. Hence the smidgen and a pinch and a. So let's move that blue over. So this purple is not the purple that I thought it was going to come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of white gel. I'm going to add some white gel so that it comes out a little lighter. Because that's really not coming out how I want. Oh yes, that's better. Because I feel like if it's too dark, it's really not going to come out. Is this a Sophia purple? Now, it is violet, but that looks more like regal purple than a pretty purple. And just put a little bit in. That's better. That's purple to me. That's more like purple. Might be a bit off-putting with my green bowl. So I didn't realize that I might not be in my chat here and I can't see if anyone's chatting. There we go. Okay. So actually, as it's cooling down, it is definitely getting thicker as I mix. Oh yes, this is coming out definitely much better than. That's a pretty color now. That's a pretty. That's a pretty purple. You'll see it better once it's on something white. Okay. So this one looks more translucent, but it's pretty. Really is pretty. Okay. So. I just want to wipe down here so that nothing gets tainted by the paint, the powder. So I'm going to show you what I did last night. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to do it like that now. We have two stalkers. my husband talking, if anybody thinks this is weird. Okay, so I did some white, what's it, opaly color. I don't know if you can even see this. So, and I had put it on acetate sheet. I had bought some acetate sheets. So this is basically what it's supposed to start looking like, right? When it starts drying and it starts flaking. But this process, I have to say, is crazy. Because I did this last night. I left it out to dry last night, overnight. So basically, roughly around about 12 hours. Okay, 10 to 12 hours. That's like super long. It was not even doing this. So I decided to, so you can see it's coming off quite easily. But, so what I decided to do was I decided to put this in my oven at the lowest heat that it could have, so at 50 degrees Celsius, and with the fan on only, nothing else, just the fan. So if you have an oven, and I think pretty much all modern day ovens have fans, this one's actually coming up much better. So you can see this one's not even coming away. You can see this one is not, it's barely coming away over here and here. So in essence, sorry, I just want to dry here. It's not sticking. So in essence, it needs a very, very, very long time. Oh, there goes all my glitter. I've got so much of it, I'm really not too worried. Okay, there goes all my flakes. Oh dear. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. That's what you want it to look like, right? And I kind of started collecting a bowl of it, but I have to say this is time consuming this way. This is really, it's taken more than 12 hours. It's still nowhere where it should be. It was in the oven on low heat. It only started doing this when I put it in the oven on the fan, low heat. So that is something that definitely needs to happen. It has to be in the oven, low heat with the fan on. But now, but also you can't have your oven on for 5 hours. That's just gonna like cost you an arm and a leg in electricity when it's just glitter. And then I'm gonna charge a fortune for my glitter, which is really not what I want to do, right? So I did, because I had extra and I only had 4 acetate sheets, and I had left over, I decided to do it on something else, which lo and behold actually worked out better. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to show you which way I feel is going to be the better way to do this. I'm not going to ever use acetate sheets again. I would think that maybe you'd need to spray and cook it, although it does. Once it starts peeling away, it comes away easily. So I'm going to put that over there. So the weight is causing nonsense. Okay, so right. So what I'm going to use is baking paper. Please make sure that the baking paper you use is the grease-proof one. I think that makes a massive difference. in the meantime, I'm going to switch my oven on to 50, and to preheat it on 50 degrees, so very, very little, very low heat, and the fan only. Okay, so you're going to take a paintbrush. I have this, I stole this from my husband. He bought it for something else, I'm not sure what, but I use it, he's never used it, and I use it in the kitchen as a basting brush because it's amazing. So if he needs it, he'll have to go and buy a new one. Okay, so you're going to paint it on here. I do believe that painting it on here onto the baking paper is going to actually speed up the process, and it's going to work out way better. Because also my acetate sheets are now curling, and all sorts of weird wonderful things are happening to the acetate sheets because of the heat. And that I kind of don't want to happen either, because I want to use those acetate sheets for other things. So you're going to put it on quite, not too thin. You kind of want it to kind of come together so that it looks like it's solid, not like that there. Although I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. But yeah, I mean, just apply it on as much as you can. I'm just going to empty all of it out onto my sheet. And then I'm just going to spread it around. Oh, this is going to be beautiful glitter. I'm going to have to get some jars. I didn't get jars because I wasn't sure how it was going to work out. So in the meantime, I'll just put them into tubs, but I will put them into jars at some point. So you're going to just put this around like this. So this is quite wet. I'm going to try and do it as much as possible that it doesn't bubble. I don't honestly think it makes any difference. You just don't want thick parts trying to dry. I think that's the point, is that you want it as even as possible. Okay. So that's going to be that. I'm going to pop this into the oven now. So I'm going to move you around so that you can see me do that. Okay, so I'm going to pop it into the oven. So because I've now preheated it a bit, it's not hot in there at all. And I'm going to put it actually, I think it matters. I don't need to put it on a tray. I know it looks like now I'm being a silly person not putting it on a tray. But I was being a silly person not pulling this out. Okay. So just like that on your grid is perfectly fine. And into the oven it goes. This is feeling a bit hot actually. So I'm going to turn the heat down. And then I'm going to close it up. And I'm going to say we give it 10 to 15 minutes before I check it. And then we're going to do another one for the purple. So I'm going to do another one. And I'm not going to wash this. And the reason why I'm not going to wash it is because if I mix purple and blue together, it's really not going to make much of a difference. It's not going to change the color much. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and just chuck it all on my sheet one time instead of trying to spoon it out. And then I'm just going to spread it over. Where Dad, I think exactly what I'm doing right now, we must make it into a YouTube short. Don't know how, but something that I'm looking into, YouTube shorts. But I think this one would be a good one for a YouTube short. Okay, I think that one's ready. I'm just going to pull out the bottom grid to put this on the bottom grid. Okay, so what are we looking at? 5 past, so at about 20 past we'll have a squiz at it to see if it's actually doing something. In the meantime, I'm going to show you, we're going to try and, you know, eliminate as much of this off here. So this I'm going to have to probably land up. Either I'm going to just discard it because it's going to just be a pain in my bum and do it again, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing because I really do not want to stick this in the oven for 5 hours. It's really not something that, no. I don't think it's cost effective at all. But that's basically how it's going to look. These pieces, big pieces like this. You see it's not coming off properly. Like parts of it does peel off, but you know, like how time consuming and what a mission that it's not working the way it should. I think my sister, my daughter would love just sitting here trying to peel it all off. It's like right up her alley. Let's just see this one. None of them really actually peel. So maybe if it's thicker, it will peel better. I'm not sure. Maybe that's, but still, then it will take longer to dry. So I'm really not happy with this acetate sheet story. I'm probably just going to wash my acetate sheets and be done with it. But I did do one on the baking paper, and look look how it just peels off. And I put it in the oven, like after it dried overnight, I put it in the oven for literally 10 minutes. Look how it peeled off. That's why I think now, because it's wet in the oven, it will just maybe have to go in for 15 minutes to half an hour. But look how it just peels off. Like, why am I wasting my time with acetate sheet? Why am I wasting my time with acetate sheets? I mean, I bought the acetate sheets for the tsunami cake and some other stuff, but definitely not for the glitter. That's for definitely sure. So we're just going to chuck that in there. So because this was white, I couldn't see that it was bubbling too much, you know, like getting the gaps in between. But also it was the end of the end. So I'm probably going to redo this one in particular because I use a lot of this color for glitter. I don't generally put blue on blue or anything like that. So I use the white on top of any color because it just comes out so nicely. It's very, very thin, and I'm going to say it's probably, if it touches water, it's probably, if it touches anything moist, it's probably going to melt. So it's not going, so I'm going to tell you straight up, it's probably not going to hold like the glitter that you buy that's not edible. And we're not talking about craft glitter, I'm talking about the supposed edible glitter that is in the baking shops that they use. That you know, kind of just all use, still kind of sprinkle it on at a minimal quantity onto cupcakes, and I do it. It hasn't killed anyone yet, so but yeah, I think moving over to so I think if you do this, when you do use it, your whatever you're using it on needs to not be moist or wet, because I think you're going to lose the effect of your edible glitter, because it's gonna melt. It's gonna melt into this. Okay. So I'm just gonna roll it up. So now you're supposed to use a coffee grinder. I don't have a coffee grinder. The unfortunate thing, I don't have a coffee grinder. So I'm just taking the time. So I don't have a coffee grinder. So I'm going to try the Bay Mix, because it needs to be, I actually think this needs to be thicker. So this is quite thin. I did it thinly thinking that that's what it had to be, but now that I'm looking at it, in reality it probably needs to be a lot thicker. But anyway, we're gonna try it anyway. So I'm gonna use my Bay Mix to try and grind it up. So I just want to take that off. So sorry for the noise, because there's always noise. really is working. I'm surprised. I didn't know it. I didn't think that this was going to work. So you're going to grind. If you have a coffee grinder, that's what you should be using, because apparently that will make it super, super fine. So should we see what it looks like? Oh wow, that's amazing. So we have, okay, we've got some big pieces. We've got some little pieces. So I think obviously if I had a coffee grinder, I'd definitely get this finer. It's definitely like glitter. That's amazing. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to, maybe I should lift this up. I'm gonna just try and get it some more. I actually don't know. Now I feel like it's just pushing it around and not actually grinding anything. So then I only have big bowls, I don't have small bowls, but anyway, because I've used the small bowls. And then we're going to sift it. So we're going to pop that in there like that. That is super interesting. Look at that. Wow! I'm super stoked about that. I'm really super stoked about that. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but we will do it again with the other colors where you probably see it better. Oh, look at that. That is amazing. I think because I'm not using a coffee grinder, my flakes are bigger than what you would get normally. But it really has, so you would sift it. I'm just wondering, I have another sift that's a lot thinner, that's a lot finer than this. I'm actually going to sift through that one as well. So I'm going to double sift it because I want to see, I wonder if I do this, it'll, oh, you see now if I did this, it'll crush up all these flakes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try. So now I've got big flakes here. So, you know what I mean? It works. You want it, obviously because it's glitter, you want it as fine as possible. So, I'm going to put that over there. And I'm going to get I have a super fine sift. So I'm gonna get another bowl. I'm gonna go to bowls. Honestly, looking at this, I almost feel like you could possibly just use cornstarch on its own and paint and mix it together and you'd have glitter. Like dry. Like, is it necessary? Oh, that comes out even better. Okay, what did I say? 20 parts. So I'm going to just quickly check what this is doing. They're not quite dry yet. What is this thing doing? So that looks like it needs to be in for a little bit longer because it was wet. So I think ideally what you would do is you would spread it like this, leave it out to dry, and then naturally, and then pop it into the oven to finish it up. So, yeah, I definitely think a coffee grinder will probably make it a lot more finer. But also, like pushing it through like this will also crush it to make it finer. Especially if this is super fine. I am so stoked for this result. Now I think what I would do is possibly try and grind that a little bit more. But look at that. Oh, this is super fine. Super, super fine. I don't know if you can see that. And it's all sparkly. But I think using the opal paint has really helped it make it more sparkly. This is definitely something I want to use for going further. And I can possibly try oh, lights are falling down. I could possibly try what was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say. Definitely. I wish you could see this. I think it probably does look completely different. You can see, and there is a bit of a shine to it and everything. It's really awesome. So I'm actually going to try and see if I can grind it up a little bit more. And I'm not too sure. Okay, I can do it in here, or I can use this blade, maybe. But then I'd have to do it in something else. That's not going to make much of a difference. You see now, I don't think that's going to make a difference either. Because I kind of need a lid, and I thought, no, if maybe I use this at the bottom, but I think it'll just kick it up. Definitely need a coffee grinder. Maybe I'll have to invest in a coffee grinder to try and make this a lot more fine. Because you don't want this like this. I mean, like the flakes are beautiful, but this big on things, I don't think so. I don't think anybody wants it this big. You know, it's meant to be a subtle shimmer of things, and this definitely is super fine now. It's come up beautifully. Super happy with that. And if I can get it through a shaker, then I'm good to go. Let's see if I do that. But you know, I'm gonna just try and test something out, because this is basically cornstarch, right, and paint. Well, edible paint. So technically, I don't know how they make the edible paint shiny. I'm not 100% sure how they make edible paint shiny. Oh wait, I'm not going to use, I'm just going to use one of those. This is a dash. I'm going to do it with the blue so that we can see it better. I want to see if this will kind of, so long as you're using the shimmer paint. Just mix it up. You see now the difference with this is it's just going to be powder. But could it pass for edible glitter? No, not really. It just looked like more paint. I almost felt like it definitely does need to have the water. No, so that comes up as like just more paint, really. So that's interesting. So yeah. Yeah, so that just looks like I've lightened the paint. So that's not going to really work. I just thought that because it's cornstarch, possibly you'd be able to just mix your color and the cornstarch, but no, I think so. You definitely have to mix you bake or cook your cornstarch, make it super thick, and then paint it and dry it out. So that's something you definitely have to do. You can apparently make edible glitter with gelatine. I could possibly have a go at that at some point, but I kind of want to keep it without gelatine because yeah, it'd probably be more user friendly and whatever for customers and stuff, you know. See, the thing is that I think my Baymix is definitely not going to make it any smaller because it doesn't feel like there's something in the bowl when I'm grinding it. So, but I can do it this way too, which is kind of time consuming and a bit of a mission. no, like I'm pushing it through and it is coming through there. Okay. So our other ones have had another 10 minutes to go. So it's looking like, so there's the blue, it's starting to come away. So that is, what's the bit next to it? So it is starting to come away. I'm going to pop that in there. So the blue one, which we put in first, has been in for 25 minutes and it's almost done. So I think probably another 5 minutes or so and we should be able to start lifting it to then grind it. Definitely feel that the white one seems to be sparklier. There's a definite more spark in it. It's why I said to rather use, well, I only use white when I'm decorating anyway, or opal or whatever you want to call it. So, and possibly like with the opal, the pearl, the more of the shimmer paint you put in, the sparklier it will be. So I use this color more because it's more of a subtle shimmer to everything as opposed to putting other colors on. There's not much smaller pieces coming through unless I push it through. And I suppose this is a bit like grating. So I'll grate these big pieces through. Yeah, so that's another way. So this is definitely like total manual labor. It's another way of kind of grinding it really to that fine. So this one's finer than this sieve. So, and because like I said, I don't have a coffee grinder, just me pushing this through is like this is super, it tears and stuff, so it's not like, so it's almost like I'm grating it through the sieve, and it's definitely coming out on the other side. So it's one way of doing it. If you don't have a coffee grinder, you can just take whatever Bay mix or your blender, so long as it's got one of these, get it as fine as possible and then push it through the sieve like this to make it extra specially fine. Could possibly put it through again, sift it again and again and again, because obviously the more fine you want it, the finer it is, the better. I think, no, because actually you don't want it to be like powder. That's definitely not Yeah, I don't think you want to get it to the point where it's powder though. Yeah, I don't think you want to get to the point where it's powder. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all of it done. I've got quite a bit out. I mean, obviously, yeah, I think now that I've done it once or twice, and we'll see how the blue and the purple come out now, because they look like they're almost done. It's sparkly. It's not, I'm gonna say it's not probably as sparkly as the non-edible glitter. Now I kind of feel like I need something to sprinkle it on. I have some. I'm going to let's do a dollop of buttercream, because essentially that's where it's gonna go. Let's put it. So now this buttercream is not weighted in any way. It's been in the fridge. It's pretty dry. Let's see what it does. So that it does work. It works. I mean, I think it's, the flakes are definitely a little big, but it definitely works, and you definitely need to definitely. Can you see? Let's see. Can you get it in closer? There we go. So it definitely does work. There is a bit of shimmer, but obviously if you can get it even finer than what I'm getting, yes. So I definitely need to try and get it. So yeah, I'm gonna say you can be happy with that. It'll work, definitely work, but probably definitely, like there's pieces here that is super fine. I don't know if you can see it in the light. That's super fine. You see? So it is shiny and stuff, and that one's super fine. And I think that's the consistency we're looking for. But I can't seem to get it to that super fine. But you probably would with a coffee grinder. So let's have a look at our blue and see. So our blue I didn't put white in it, and I didn't, yeah, like the purple I put white in it, the blue I didn't. I don't know if maybe the blue will come out, maybe a little bit. I don't know if it'll come out glittery. I feel like it might not. So here's our blue. So because of the paper, it's beautiful. Beautiful. So they're both done. They are both done. The purple's also dry. So we're going to just peel it off here. The paper does the oh no, maybe it's not done. It's not coming off. Oh, it is. Maybe I'm being a little hasty. But so less than an hour, possibly an hour. So maybe if I put it in for an hour, but it's still better than 5 to 6 hours in the oven on acetate. So, and you're getting the same result. And then you can just chuck it. You're going to get the exact same result. Okay, maybe it just needs to go in a little bit longer, because yeah, it should be coming away completely. Parts of it is not. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just put it in for a little bit longer. Yeah, because the white one just came away. I'm being a bit hasty, I think. So that was roughly half an hour that it's been in the oven. So I'm going to say probably 45 minutes to an hour it probably should go in. Especially from wet. If you do it if you do it oh, now I don't have a bowl because I'm utilizing all the bowls. Yeah, look at that one. But this one was on a different level. And this one had white in it, so that we could lighten it up a bit. So this is still wet over here, in clumps. Now you see now, some of it's still wet. Okay, so I'm going to pop this back in the oven as well. But and this one was at the bottom level. So maybe a little bit of it can't go more than 50 degrees in your oven. You'll burn it. You see, this is definitely the way it should be coming off. There's just patches where it's wet, still in the crevice. See there in between where it was folded. So I'm just going to pop this back in the oven just a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to say 50 degrees heat at fan only. So now I find that the white has got a lot more shimmer than this does. But let's see how it... I mean, I've seen this being done not using any kind of shimmer, it's just straight gels. And you think to yourself, oh my god, is it really going to look like glitter when you're done? Don't know, let's find out. Without the shimmer. coming out flaky. Even with the shimmer, it's not actually looking glittery. I wonder if you'd have to mix the two. Like have a mix inside your bag. Now I feel like it's just swirling it around, it's not actually binding anything. So, I'm going to try using this. Because there's quite a bit in there now. See, the problem with using this one is there needs to be a lot more in here. Yeah. Definitely not working. I wonder if it's because it's not dry enough. Possibly. It's not dry enough, so it's not breaking up properly. Do we mix it? At the moment, it's the consistency of fish food flakes. That's what it looks like right now. It looks like fish food flakes. And you don't want it that big. It really has to be super fine, I think. I suppose almost powder. Maybe? I'm not 100% sure. But that's why I'm trying it out, and I'm trying to see if it works. I'm not sure if doing gelatine would make it be different. I feel like maybe gelatine would. Because gelatine will probably be way thicker. It's clear. I couldn't get this clearer. I was supposed to get it clearer, but I couldn't get it clearer than what I did. Gelatine would be clearer. You use a lot of gelatine. I think it's like 80 grams of gelatine. I could possibly try and do it. I think it's literally gelatine and water. Did I write it down? Might give you a completely different texture and stuff. I think you would do the same thing though. You'd have to paint it on, leave it to dry a bit. Although gelatine, it will be more jelly-like. Oh, I don't know. I do know that if you paint it gelatine very, very thinly, because I make fairy wings this way, it is quite brittle. Now I'm wondering if I should do gelatine. And if we should try out doing gelatine. Should we just wing it and do it. I think we would then have to do exactly the same thing though. We would paint it onto onto there and put it at, I'm not happy with, this is not coming out glossy. And I don't think it would have made any difference whether I used gel colors or whether I used the shimmer. You can't even see the shimmer in here. No. And I think maybe the gelatine would possibly work better. Possibly, but then you're making it up. But it's still edible, right? So it's still edible. So that's the whole point, is that it's still edible. Okay. So this has definitely come away a bit more. So roughly an hour. I think you don't want the wet pieces because that might be causing issues with the grinding. If I could just get this finer, then maybe I would be a little bit happier. Definitely happy with the white one, but and the white one I would use way more. I am thinking that possibly maybe we should just wing it and try gelatine and see what happens. I think you're still going to have to paint it onto something like this. You're still going to have to, that is not going to make any difference. That you're still going to do the same thing. Paint it onto here, wait for it to set, put it in with a fan to dry it out quicker as opposed to just leaving it. But the difference with gelatine is that you don't want it, you do not want it thick. You want it as thin as possible because you want it to become brittle. This is just not grinding the same way as the white one did. It was made exactly the same way. Maybe it's just me being impatient. I feel like the machine is actually just kind of moving this around rather than actually chopping it up or anything. Oh no, let's put it into the silver one. Let's see. Okay. I'm starting to feel like maybe if we did the gelatine route, it would come out looking sparklier because the gelatine is clear. But then maybe possibly I should not have put white in here. That's also could be the possibility. That I should not have put white in here. Oh, look at that. Okay, no, wait. I'm probably speaking too soon. I just want to take the blue out. Just leave it there. While we manually grind this. So I think I'm going to test out gelatine. Hello, Saber! You've missed most of it. So just to catch you up, what we did is we did a tablespoon of a tablespoon of cornstarch and a cup of water, and we cooked it up on the stove in a pan to get it thick and translucent. And then we painted it, which I'll show you now. We painted it onto, I'll show you. Last night I did a set because I needed to see, because it's supposed to take a long time to set. And I'd left it overnight and it was still not 100%. It wasn't even coming away. So then I was like, oh my God. So then this morning I thought, okay, I'm going to put it in the oven. But I put it on acetate sheets and I couldn't get it to go away from the acetate sheet. Well, I'll show you. It sort of came away. But I tried it on baking paper, which definitely worked out way better. Okay, so this is not that bad, but it's not sparkly though. It looks like glitter. The white is definitely more sparkly. Maybe I didn't use enough. So this is my white that I did. And my white has definitely got more sparkle to it. So that's super interesting that the white has got more sparkle to it. I'm gonna grind the blue as well. I'm not sure if I have enough time to test out it with gelatine. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna set it up to do gelatine as well for possibly next week Friday. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because Tuesday and Wednesday is scheduled for something else. So maybe next week Friday we do the gelatine one. Or maybe we do it on Tuesday and then I'll just shift everything over, which is also not a problem. So that we can see what the gelatine one does. I think that's actually a good idea, to see how the gelatine one. And then I can say, okay, gelatine's better, cornstarch is better. I don't know. The point is that either way I need to get some edible glitter, because it's just cannot put normal glitter, you know, the non-edible glitter that is sold in the baking shops onto a salami cake. It's just too much of non-edible glitter. It's just not going to happen. So now I want to make a salami cake, a princess. I'm going to be doing 2 princess salami cakes. Reason why I'm doing purple and blue is because I'm doing 2 Princess Tsunami cakes. And I'm doing one with Rebecca, and I'm doing one for my stream. So, and it's going to need a crap load of glitter. Coffee grinder. Need the coffee grinder apparently. So that does, it does work. But needless to say, I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, I actually don't use colored glitter anyway. So I'm really not going to stress too much, but it's because of the tsunami cake that I want purple and blue. But normally I only use the white glitter anyway. So for me to make the white glitter only and use it, I'll be quite happy because it's come out quite nicely. But I do want to try it with the. Can you see the difference? Let's see. You tell me. Oh wow, that looks rather sparkly on the camera. So that's what it's looking like, and I think it needs to be. It looks good. I'm not going to say it doesn't look good. It definitely needs to be finer. I do feel that this would give me more of a sparkle than this. But again, I don't personally use colored glitter. I use the white one because I find that works out better. I'm going to chuck that because I'm not going to be able to use it unless I can grind it more. Okay, so let's just move that up and that up. Just let's give it a wipe down here. And then we're going to do the blue. And let's see if the blue looks any different. See if that comes out differently. Because the blue, I never put white paint into it. That one I left. Shame way, Dad, there's nothing for you to eat today. Does it look sparkly? Yeah, in person, maybe it's me. I don't know. Like, I want extra sparkle. I want like super sparkle. So I did it on acetate sheets last night, and I'm still trying to get it off the acetate sheets. So they're little bits. So it would need to be, for some reason it takes longer on the acetate sheet than it does on the baking paper. But also the baking paper is grease proof, and the acetate is not. So that could be the difference. So probably if it did use acetate sheet, maybe you'd have to maybe spray and cook it, but I think that might, I don't know. I just think that this is so much better, and it's cut. I've done this. I did the blue and the purple in the time that I've been streaming on the baking paper, and it's ready. I did the white on the acetate sheets last night, and it's still not ready. So, you know, for time-consuming purposes, I think I'm going to stick to the baking paper. So we're just going to pop peel this off and pop it into my mixer, my blender. Oh, good God. Do you know, I have this ginormous blender and I'm not sure if I should try it on that. It's not, should I? Where, Dad? Are you listening to me? Should we try our massive industrial blender with this? Do you think it would give me this? I don't know how to explain it. You know, if you put a whole bunch of nuts, it's something tangible for it to you know, to grind or blend or whatever. Whereas this, it's wafer thin. It's like it's just spinning with nothing. Which is probably the reason why you're supposed to use a coffee grinder. But I don't have a coffee grinder. I have a coffee machine. I don't have a coffee grinder. So I'm not sure. I mean, if glitter is non-edible and it's made from plastic, how are they getting it to? You know, because we don't all have the unicorn that poops glitter. I was telling Rebecca that the other day. Rebecca and her friend. They were like. Rebecca thought it was fantastic that I said that unicorns poop glitter. But her friend was horrified. She's like, that's disgusting. I'm like, what? You like glitter, don't you? She's like, yes. So I said, well, where do you think glitter comes from? Sorry, this apparently is now suddenly a process. It's supposed to. I think ideally you'd make it, paint it onto the sheets, let it dry first before you pop it in the oven. Let it air dry, and when it's dry, then put it in the oven, because then you'd only put it in for 10 minutes. You know, you want to save electricity kind of thing. So, you know, time and effort and electricity. And I'm quite happy to have make this now and leave it to, lie somewhere drying in the sun, to then just finish it off in 10 minutes in the oven, so that my oven's not on forever. I have a problem when my oven's on for long, copious amount of times for not a lot of time. Exactly. Rebecca was so keen. She's like, Mom, can I peel it? Because she loves it. To sit and peel it. And I said to her, no, because I'm peeling it. Yeah, but now I'm like, I might just leave this page for her to do. Okay. Do I? So now we're gonna put that in there. Sorry. So what we're going to do is we're going to then put it through once we've blended it. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in. To get those big pieces out. Oh, the blue definitely looks better. So, I probably should have not put white in the purple. I was trying to make the purple lighter, thinking it wouldn't come out so nicely. But now that I'm looking at it, I probably should not have put white inside it might have made it a little too opaque. And you kind of don't want it to be opaque, you want it to be, you know, translucent and stuff. Oh. I have a big piece. Oh, there we go. I have a big piece that's not getting cut up. Ah man, there's this big piece. Okay, I'm gonna just pop it over there. And then, Saber, as you can see, because I don't have a coffee grinder, I'm what I call manually grinding it through the sieve. I think if I land up making glitter as a thing to supply to people, I will definitely invest in a coffee grinder so that we can get it super fine. And you know, at the moment this consistency is like fish food. So what I'm going to do, so now I'm going to go from one sorry, oh, there's purple in here, one sieve to another, but this one's a lot finer. So I'm going to try and make it even finer. So you'll sift it so all the fine pieces come out of it. Yeah, I think the blue definitely came out better. But again, I didn't put white. I wasn't happy with the purple color, so I think possibly doing just the gel, or the gel and the shimmer paint, and not putting white paint. I put bright white edible paint, edible color, which And coffee grinders don't grind too finely. Really? Oh, I thought a coffee grinder. No, you always use that. Everyone's always using coffee grinders to make like their own spices because it comes out so nice and fine. Apparently. Well, if that's the case, then I don't think it's going to get any finer than this. And I'm not going to invest in a coffee grinder. If it's not going to get any finer than this, then there's no real point for me to get a coffee grinder. So something I want to try, I just want to have a look at and a squiz at, is I want to see if I put in a little extra So yeah, I mean, I just don't feel like it's shimmering enough for glitter. And I'm getting paint residue on my fingers from this. Like at this point for me, this paint is looking far more glittery and sparkly than the actual glitter. So I thought if I added an extra bit of sparkle to it, as in the shimmer food coloring, yes. So I've added the shimmer food coloring to this. Just a little bit of this. This one doesn't have it, and this one does have it. And it's just given it that little bit of a lift of sparkliness. Just a little. So, but to be honest, I think that this is perfectly fine for the tsunami cake. So, you know, that amount of glitter I think this would be perfectly fine for it. So yeah. I don't know what this is trying there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up to do, I'm going to definitely do, and there shouldn't be this paint residue, because generally glitter, but yeah, it's not, then it's edible. Okay, yeah, so it's not plastic. So I think that's what will make the difference. But I think what I'm going to definitely do, most definitely do, is I'm going to set up to do, we're going to do edible glitter again, except with gelatine. So I think we're going to do that same time next week. Do a gelatine one to see if that makes any difference between the two, and then I can make a clear decision on which one is possibly better. Yeah, I think I'm getting paint on my hands, so that's not great for glitter. Like, there's one thing to have glitter on you, but not paint. Do you want to see? Come look. But it doesn't look quite the same. I don't think so. When I look at it on the camera, it looks beautifully sparkly and stuff. And then when I look on here,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. What do you think? Does it look like glitter? It looks dull to me.
No, it's bright. It's not sparkly.
Not. You see, like for me, the white looks better.
Yeah, the white looks sparkly.
Yeah. But that's why I want to try let's try the gel. I mean, the gelatine. That might make a completely different look. We shall see. We shall see. Let's see. If we try that, and we'll see the difference in it, which will work fantastically. Anyway, guys, that was actually me. Didn't realize that we've been on for quite a while. Oh, I thought this is average watch time. I thought it meant that that's how long I've been on for. And I was like, there's no way I've only been on for 36 minutes.
Quite well, people.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic, super duper sparkly weekend. It's Mother's Day. Oh, Sabo, did you not do anything? You haven't been streaming, so now you haven't done anything for Mother's Day. I've been like checking, waiting for you to stream to do something pretty for Mother's Day. Now you haven't done anything. Oh. So that's quite funny. Now you're going to be behind like you were. Like you were with Easter. I'm just giving you a hard time because I can. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me and for watching me. You did it off stream? Well, huh? The whole point was for you to do it on stream. Okay. You're forgiven. I was hoping to see you do something fantastic. Okay, awesome. I'd love to see it. Yes, definitely post it on Instagram so that we can see it. And then, yes, okay. Thank you everybody for joining. It was real. It's Friday. Happy Mother's Day. Have a sparkly weekend. And hope you all, if you are a mom out there, hope you have a fantastic Mother's Day. And that you don't have to do anything this weekend and your family does it all for you. Cook, clean, whatever, and they let you just sit and chill. Have a super duper weekend, guys. See you soon.